let's do this. Let's everyone have a little bit of fun. If you have a pen and a piece of paper and you want to write down these keywords, it might be helpful for you. If you don't, it's fine. We can still just go along. What I'm going to show you is how to take some information, put it into your long-term memory by creating a very silly story. Humor actually helps your memory go straight from short-term to long-term. So when you're memorizing things and learning things and you do it in a humorous way or with emotion, it definitely goes much quicker into your long-term memory instead of your short. So here we go. Your first key word is mat. So you can think of maybe a doormat, some type of a carpet mat that you see in your house or something. And then your next key word is marker. So what I want you to do is just think that somebody took markers and they've scribbled all over your mat and made it a mess. Okay? And so you might be sitting here feeling the emotion like, I'm going to kill whoever just did this. But then repent and remember we're Christians. The other thing is you could be just sitting there and just seeing this marker all over the place, and maybe it's beautiful and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to save this forever and never wash it because my grandchildren just painted this beautiful rose or rainbow or something on it. Okay, the next word is lukewarm water. The next key word is lukewarm water. So you have this lukewarm water and you're going to try to clean this mat. And you're just going to scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub with this lukewarm water. Okay, now you have this huge mess, and now you need to call in the cavalry. So your next key word is John Wayne. That's right, John Wayne. And John Wayne, you know, you called in the cavalry, he's going to help you take care of this mat. The only thing is when John Wayne shows up, he is dressed for acting class. That's your next key word, is acting. Not only is he dressed for acting class, but the next key word is Roman. He's dressed like a Roman. So let me remember John Wayne. He did play a couple of Roman soldiers. My grandmother was a John Wayne addict. Okay, and so just imagine see John Wayne here. He's dressed in his Roman outfit, and he's eating a corn on the cob. And so that's your next key word, is corn on the cob. And I just see him like, you know how those cartoons, old cartoons, where they used to like eat corn on the cob and it was like a typewriter and it goes, and it goes, yeah. Okay, so but he doesn't only do that to one, he's so obnoxious, he does it to two. So you have two corn on the cob.
Do you write corn on the cob again?
Yes, you do. Now, after this, let me just stop for a second and let me ask you guys, without looking, what's the first key word? Mat. What's the second key word? What's the third?
Lukewarm.
Lukewarm water, right. What's the next one? John Wayne. And what is he? Acting. Okay? And then the next one is Romans. Then what? And how many? Two. Okay, so you have just memorized, I have to count these, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? To memorize 5 random things that make no sense to you is actually average. To do over 7 is genius. I just took you to a whole new level. And if you don't believe me, look these statistics up. If you are in an IQ class or IQ testing, this is one of the things they do. They throw out random information to you and then ask you to repeat it back to them. They'll wait 15, 20 minutes, which we do not have today, and then we'll have you repeat it. Okay, so let me just go on a little bit more. And let me see, how much time do I have left? Okay, so the next thing is, so you have this corn, and now what I want you to do is just imagine this crazy fan. Do you guys remember the Beatles and all the crazy things that people did? Okay, so I see John Wayne. He's got these corn on the cobs. They're going back and forth, and he throws them over his shoulder, and this crazy fan runs up, grabs these corn on the cobs, and races them to this gallery. Just imagine this is your keyword, gallery. So he's got this apple, these corn on the cobs, and he frames them and he puts them in a John Wayne gallery. Okay? And then, as this person is standing there, maybe this is you looking at these corn on the cobs framed in this gallery, and you're thinking, wow, and you have an epiphany. Okay, so epiphany is your next key word. So we went from the gallery. When you're in the gallery, you have this epiphany. This epiphany makes you so excited that your next key word is flip. You start doing flips, back flip, front flip, side flips, any kind of flips. I know, my back's hurting already, and I haven't even flipped yet. Okay, and your flip becomes so colossal, so your next keyword is actually a description, is colossal. Okay, can you imagine what a colossal flip looks like? I don't know, maybe we're jumping from the chandeliers at this point. And you land in a thistle. Does anybody know what a thistle is? For those of you who don't remember, they're a bush with thorns in them. And we live in New Mexico now, so we run into thistles all the time. Okay? And so not only does he land in one, okay, but now you also land in two. So I have two thistles. So in my mind, I see myself doing this colossal flip, and I'm landing this thistle, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to jump out of this, and I land right into the second one. Now I'm a tangled mess. And you can almost imagine, like something you would see off Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where they're, you know, just all tangled up. So what you need to do is get help. So your next keyword is Timothy. So Timothy, that's right. So in Timothy is twins. There's two Timothys here, and they both show up. Now these Timothys just aren't any Timothy. These twin Timothys are as strong as Titans. That's your next key word. They're as strong as Titans. Okay, so you've got Titans as your next key word. So, next key word is filet mignon. So reason why these guys are as strong as Titans is because they eat filet mignon, and I can actually just like smell this steak in my hand going, this is definitely good food here. Okay, so you've got these twin Timothys, strong as Titans. They're eating this filet mignon, and you're sitting there, you're smelling it, you can see it. It tastes good, it looks good, and you say, hey, where'd you get that? And they point over here and say the filet mignons are cooked by the Hebrew. Okay? So your next keyword is Hebrew. Or you could maybe see Hebrew National stamped on the meat, if some of you like Hebrew National foods. And the Hebrew's name is, your next keyword, James. Ellie's figuring out this crazy story. Okay, so James is standing on, he's got one foot in peat moss. And he's got another foot in peat moss. So I see, like, you know how you're thinking right, left, right, left? I'm seeing him like kind of stomping right, left while he's cooking these wonderful steaks. And he's standing in peat moss. Do you remember what peat moss feels like on your toes when you were a kid? Any of you guys ever take your shoes off and walk around in peat moss and think, wow, this feels so wonderful? Any of you remember bugs getting on your feet because you were in the peat moss too long? Okay, don't go there. Okay, so on this peat moss, across the way, is John. So your next key word is John. And he's running a three-legged race. Three-legged race. So you've got John. Your next key word is a three-legged race. Is this story getting really insane? Okay, so he's running a three-legged race, and he's singing this song. Hey Jude. Your next keyword is Jude. Right? And while he's singing the song, Hey Jude, he has a revelation. That's the end of our story. Okay, so tell me what the first key word was.
Yacht.
And then what?
Marker.
Marker, and then? Lukewarm water. Next?
John Wayne.
John Wayne. And what was after that? Acting. Romans. Then? Corn on the cob. How many? Two. Next? Gallery. Then? Epiphany. Next? Flip. That's right, we're going to flip. This is a great epiphany. And the flips become? Colossal. And we land in? That's right, in two thistle bushes, right. And then? That's right, the twin Timothys come and help us, right? And then they're as strong as? And then what happens? What are they eating? Filet mignon. And it's cooked by? A Hebrew named? James. And what is he standing on? Two peat moss. Right and left foot being peat moss. And on that same peat moss is who? John. And what is he doing? Three-legged race. And what is he singing? Hey Jude. And he's having a... That is the New Testament books in order, ladies. Congratulate yourself. That's pretty impressive. So now, do you know what all those are? If I asked you what, looking at your list, would you be able to guess what the books were? What's the first book? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, Corinthians 1 and 2. That's right. Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, Thessalonians 1 and 2, Timothy 1 and 2, right. I have Titus, yes, Titus. I'm thinking Titans and Titus. Okay, and then? Philemon, that's right. Then? Next? James. First and second Peter. John. First, second, and third. Exactly. That's why we had our three-legged race in there. And then? Jude. Revelation. Wasn't that the funnest way to learn the New Testament books?